Hey, how you doing, race fans? Doug Henwood, the Number Cruncher, back with you again. We're moving on with our coverage of Woodbine Standardbreds. Going to have a look at Friday, March the 15th, and then we'll look at the Saturday night card on the next broadcast. Like we always do before we get started, we like to look back and see how the previous week treated us. Still kind of in a hole, unfortunately. It doesn't take much to have the money go away. Minus $76 for Friday, and again, that's based on us trying to note and confirm back to you how we're doing on $1 exacta boxes and $1 try boxes. The try box especially is really hard to get. You need all three of your top selections to come in first, second, or third in order to hit. So last Friday's card, minus 76, and then on Saturday night's card, minus 34. So we're in the hole a little bit. Fortunately, you'll remember back, wasn't too long after we got started, we hit a couple of a pick 5, a couple of pick 4. So financially, we're doing just fine. But in terms of me trying to offer you guys some race by race information that's usable, it hasn't been going as good as I hoped. Don't forget, too, I've said it a few times, that it's one thing for me to give you my selections. I really think there's some value in the rest of the information I'm giving you. I'm doing some calculations for front half, middle move horses, and adjusted closing quarter. And then you take that information and note it. And as the races are proceeding, when they hit that quarter pole, make a note of the first 4 horses at the quarter, and then make a note of the first 4 horses at the finish so that you can create and monitor your own track bias. That tells you whether you should be on the front half, middle move, or adjusted closing quarter types. I'm out front. I got to admit, I typically lean towards the closers, but depending on the track, these speed horses can find good position and then be tough to pass. In fact, just because a horse is coming in as a speed horse doesn't mean he can't harness that front half ability and use it later in the race if he's had a good trip. So just all these things we need to be aware of as we try to do our handicapping. By no means giving up. We're looking for better things. And again, financially, personally, I'm doing just fine. But day by day, I like to think that I'm actually giving you guys some good advice. So let's turn to it. Again, I'm going to give you front half, middle move, adjusted closing quarter, and then my own selections for each of the races. And if you want a little summary sheet of what all of that is, with a spot for your to put down actual results, your own profit and loss, and some comments, I'm happy to send you that summary. Just go to this YouTube channel and grab my Number Cruncher email address and send me a request. I'll be happy to send it your way. So let's get started. For Friday night, March the 15th, here's the front half speed in the first race at Mohawk. 7, 5, and then 4 and 8 are tied for third. We have no middle move horses, and adjusted closing quarter is 6, 4, and 8. As I mentioned, I'm gonna stick close to home for the most part on these adjusted closing quarter horses. I like the 6. Go Getter, Miss Cheddar. Got Doug McNair, came home last race in 26-1. I adjust that to 26-3 because the horse was 4 lengths behind. I add 1/5 of a second for each length more than 2. So that's 2/5 of a second I'm adding on to the 26-1 to come up with a 26-3 horse. And you know what? That quarter still blows everybody away in this race. So 6 on top. For second, I like the 4 Stag Royal. For third, the 8 Suntan City. And fourth, the 5 Perfect Set. In the second race, front half speed, 6, 7, 1, 2 are tied for third. No middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 3 and 5 are tied. And then 4 is the third pick. Interesting race. Again, when you just look at the race, it certainly looks like 6 and 7 are the most consistent and classiest in this race. They've kind of proven it week in, week out. And yet their form shows them as speed horse, but not quite as good on the closing quarters. I suppose when you're on the front by several lengths, you're in good shape. You don't necessarily have to hit all of that pedal the last quarter. So in this case, just knowing the horses, you betcha I'm going to stick with the class. Take the 6. Tells on a roll. Until they start to beat this one, I think she's the queen. For second, the 7, So Much More, who really is the queen of Canadian standardbred racing. For third, the 5, Western Wish, just running great. Had this one last week. It paid us back $30. And for fourth, the 3, Wildcat Star. So 6, 7, 5, 3 are my selections for race number 2. In the third, front half, 7, 9, 8. Middle move, again, no middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 6 is the pick. And then we have a ton of horse tied for second. 2, 3, 7, 8, and 10, all tied for the second pick. Selection-wise, and this is a difficult race when you get some of these first-timers, or a couple of starts, couple of horses coming back after qualifiers. It's difficult to see which one might be the best. I'm simply going to use the numbers, and pick this race is the 6, Hoot Bay. 26 and 3, closing quarter. It's a qualifier, but that's an impressive number. I'm going to put this one on top. For second, the 9, Captain Nashville, probably the favorite, and I think likely going to get a big piece of it. For third, the 7, Gigdy. And for fourth, the 8, JMR Speakaway. So 6, 9, 7, and 8 are my picks in the third. In the fourth at Woodbine, front half speed, 4, 1, and 3. For the middle move horse is the 2, Cadillac, with a +6. Going down the program away to January 26th to grab that one. But I got no problem going back that far based on a vet scratch and some breaks. Really looking for 2 or 3 usable races. So that's the middle move horse, Cadillac. Closing quarters, adjusted closing quarters, 9 is the pick. And then a tie with 2 and 6 for second. Selection-wise, I'm going to go with the 9. Royal Leaf just seems to be the pick at this level. Again, the numbers bear that out, so we'll put Royal Leaf on top. For second, the 2, Cadillac, based on that +6 middle move and a nice 29 and 1 closing quarter. Those combined make this very live today. For third, the 4, Catkin Morgan. Somehow they figured out a way to take this horse from the back end to start, and they found some speed. So now it's much more prominent early and getting some nice checks. I think it seems to be getting better and better. And for fourth, we'll take the 6, He's So Hot Hanover. So 9, 2, 4, and 6 in the fourth race. We'll come back and give you the pick 4, the early pick 4 in a second. Race number 5, front half speed, 1, 9, and then 3 and 6 are tied. Middle move horse, 8 and 2. Adjusted closing quarter, we have a tie between 5 and 8. And then we have a tie for third between 6 and 10. Selection-wise, I'm going to go with the 8, Mist Amber. We're going to combine a 7.5, which is a big number for middle move, and a 26 and 2 in its last race, closing quarter. That's a dynamite combination. So Mist Amber on top of our ticket as our winner. For second, the 5, Momentary Control, coming in off of 3 qualifiers, but prior to that, running in the filly and mare preferred. So this one certainly in miles easier. For third, the 6, Iris Silster, and for fourth, Glenborough, the 9, who's very, very steady these days, and I expect him to be close to the front end, even from post 9. So we'll take 8, 5, 6, 9 in the fifth. In the sixth, front half speed, 4, 5, and 9. No middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 4, 10, 7. Selections. I'm sticking on the closing quarter side of the equation and going with Better with Glasses, the 4. For second, 10. probably the favorite. Margot's Got the Cargo. For third, the 7, Catch My Breath. And 4, another good one, the 9, Always a Catch. Those are a tough group, those 4, actually. So 4, 10, 7, and 9 in the 6th. In the 7th race, front half speed, 1, 5, and 7. No middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 1, 9, and 4. So my selections this race, I like the one, Mick Vera. Again, a 26 and 2. We're going down 3 races. But again, might as well throw out the 2 from London. The numbers are not going to be comparable. Last race at Woodbine, this horse came home in 26 and 2. Got beat by 2 1/4 lengths. That's impressive. Nobody in here can do that. And the rail, hopefully a good trip, and unleash that thing and look out. For second, the 9 horse, All-Star Finest. For third, the 4, Better Catch Girl. And for fourth, 7, Better Be Donna. She's dropping, and this is another one, just a solid old classy gal. So dropping, you got to beware. So 1, 9, 4, 7. You may need them all if you're looking for that pick 4. Let's see how I played the early pick 4. So we'll go back to the 4th. Here's your early pick 4 ticket, a 20-cent variety. Couple ways you can go. I'm suggesting we're 2, 4, and 9 in the first, and then 5, 6, 8, 9, 4, 7, and 10, and 1, 4, 7, 9. That's a little bigger ticket than normal for me, $28.80, and quite honestly, you may be able to key Royal Leaf in the first. If you do that, the $28.80 becomes $9.60. So I'm going to play it all. I think that just maybe based on the post, I think it makes some sense to include the 2 and the 4 on that ticket as well. So there's our early pick 4 Woodbine. We'll slide back to the, we just handicapped the 7th. Here comes the 8th. In the 8th, the front half speed horse is a tie, 1 and 6. And then a tie for third between 2 and 7. Middle move, 4 is the pick, a nice +8. And then, yeah, you guessed it, 5 is the second pick with a +7. And then a tie for third between 2 and 8. Closing quarter, 4, 5 are actually tied. And then for third, the 8. So just like the battle that we saw last week, I expect to see it again here between the 4 and the 5. I'm going to take the 5 again. I picked Mystifying last week, and it's going to be another good battle. But Mystifying on top, the 5 horse. For second, I like the 4, Angostura Hanover. And for third, 8, Setting a Precedent. And for fourth, She's Got It All, the 2. So we'll try 5, 4, 8, 2 in the 8th race. In the 9th, the front half speed, 7, 5, and 8. No middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 7, 9, and 4. So my selections this race, the 7 looks good to me. Look, front half speed, it is the front half speed pick, and it's the adjusted closing quarter pick. So when you're the best on both ends of it, chances are you just might dominate. Picked on the program as well, dropping in class. I like the 7, Kevin Anthony. For second, the 9, Villefranche AS. A little bit hidden here, really not running that bad, and again, dropping in class. I think hopefully pays a little bit. I'm going to definitely have this one in my exacta tickets. And for third, the 4, So Not Cool. And for fourth, we'll go with the 1, Ms. Franny, who I believe is also dropping for sure. So 7, 9, 4, 1 in the 9th. Go to the 10th and final, the Jackpot High 5, front half speed, 3, 9, and 8. No middle move horse. Adjusted closing quarter, 9, 10, and 6. Last time in this group, we actually had Butterfly Kisses, and it ended in a dead heat. We gave out that selection, paid 11 to 1, just dead heat, so the overall win price was a little bit less. This time around, numbers are suggesting Chief's Dream Girl. In that very same race, she had a horrible trip outside the whole way from post 10. hoping she just has a little bit better luck. Her class should prevail. And again, she's got a 27 flat closing quarter in her last, only beaten by 1 length. So Chief's Dream Girl on top. For second, going to go to the outside, the Turning Point. These are tougher, but you know what? The horse is really running consistently. 7 for 8 in the money. Definitely also got a nice closing 27-1, so figures to be tough. And for third, I'll go back to Butterfly Kisses. I think enjoying this level. So yeah, 6 for third. For fourth, 3 Powered by Mock, and the 4-horse JK's Rollin' Baby for fifth. So the jackpot high five would be 9, 10, 6, 3, and 4. So to end it off, we'll give you the late 20-cent pick 4, which starts in race 7. Another one where I like a few. In the first leg, I like 1, 4, 7, and 9. Middle legs, I think you can stick with Mystifying and Angostura Hanover, so 4 and 5 only. Same thing in the third leg. I think you could stay with Kevin Anthony, and you might want to throw in the Villefranche just because it's going to be a price, so 7 and 9. And in the final leg, 3, 6, 9, 10. So we're going 4, 2, 2, 4. That costs $12.80. Somewhere in there, I think we got some winners. We got some exacta boxes and some try boxes. That's always the key. And even more important, as my dogs wail in the background, have some fun. And I'm wishing you guys lots of luck. Back to you with the next broadcast, where we'll cover Saturday night at Woodbine at Mohawk Park. Good luck, everyone.